Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk person of interest. And I was queuing up my view for today and I suddenly realized that there are 23 episodes to this season, which 10 years ago wouldn't have piqued my interest at all. But the fact is I'm so unused to a series of television this long that it really kind of changes your perspective on what to expect. Don't get me wrong, I've filmed plenty of seasons of television that are this long, but approaching it from a viewer, approaching it as a commentator, as a reactor, I'm so used to focusing on the through line and that underlying plot advancing weekly, and I just don't think I should go into this season of Person of Interest with that sort of expectation. This show is recent enough that it came out at a time when procedurals were all over network television. I mean, they still are to today, but they certainly were when this show came out 10 years ago as well. And it was such a crowded space that you needed two things. You needed a very novel hook, you needed a great cast, and then you just needed to keep the stories entertaining and fun. And you hoped you were in a good time slot too. Well, we've got a great hook. I love the setup of the machine, the this post 9/11 hyper surveillance world where all these potential crimes are being spotted, but no one has the wherewithal to do anything about them except for our main characters of Finch and Reese. I'm cool with that. I like that. I like the setup with our cops now partnered. Carter is the pursuer, and Fusco is literally the one to obfuscate. I mean, I don't think his name is an accident. He's there to redirect Carter, to point her in a different direction, not necessarily to stop her investigations from proceeding, but certainly for her to focus more on finding the bad guy attached with each person of interest, whether it's the person of interest themselves or their their adversary, but to keep her attention away from Reese. As of now, she's not even really aware of Finch as involved in this. She hasn't connected Finch and Reese. She's met Finch under a different name, mind you. But yeah, I like the setup. The stories have been fun so far. They've been intelligent enough that they aren't telegraphed. I'm guessing every episode without knowing for sure what's going to happen next. That's great. But I think if I enter each episode, especially at this early stage, of expecting grand revelations, foundational plot, I might be disappointed. So I think my mindset, at least for the time being, until I'm proven wrong, is just going to be enjoying each episode as a standalone, as a person of interest of the week, and have fun with it. And I am having fun with it. I'm enjoying that space. I haven't been a regular viewer of a procedural drama, network procedural drama, since I stopped watching CSI. So yeah, it really feels like a retro experience for me, which is kind of fun. And like I said, I'm really enjoying the show itself, but I'm going to avoid expectations of a greater underlying plot, at least until it actually rears its head. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So let's cut this preamble off where I am right now. Let's jump into episode 7. This one's called Witness.
Get the team and I'll meet you there.
We can handle this.
No.
One of the things
I want
I
to be there in person. I want
love
to feel
about
it
this show
myself.
is it is filmed in New York, and it very much feels like New York. They're using New York to its best advantage. We actually
Wait, can you rewind that for me? We got ourselves a witness.
Any sign of him?
Put out a bolo. This guy vanished.
I'd make myself scarce, too. This ain't no neighborhood you want to be called a snitch.
The victim's a former La Cosa Nostra lieutenant by the name of Benny D'Agostino.
Brighton Beach is Russian territory, so what's the LCN doing here?
You kidding? There's a war going on.
So who's his boss?
We don't know much, other than a name.
So this is Russians
Elias.
versus Mafia?
You heard of him?
Oh, yeah, we go way back.
Nobody even knows what he looks like.
What about the witness? Your boys having any luck finding him?
No.
The Russians will knock on every door in this neighborhood till they find him.
I received his number late last night. His name's Charlie Burton.
Right.
Guy's
They're
worried
on the
about
witness
something.
too. Okay.
But I'm not seeing a threat yet.
He's a high school history teacher working in the Brighton Beach School District. Lives alone, never married.
High school history. Benjamin Linus was a high school history teacher.
I'm looking for a guy that could use some help.
He's a witness. He's Caucasian, 5'10", bald.
I think I already did.
Why am I not surprised?
They've already found him.
Mr. Reese, we might want to leave this one to the authorities.
No time.
Okay. Man, they didn't do a good job of matching the distance between those vehicles. I hate that stuff like that bumps for me, but...
Mr. Burton, you're in danger.
They send you?
Sir, you have a Russian hit team closing in.
How do I know you're not one of them?
Because I'm standing in front of you, and you're still alive.
The whistling kettle.
Where did this piece of garbage go?
You need me to call in a distraction?
Let me get back to you on that. Let's get moving. Now.
Okay. Are we sure this guy's not more than he appears? He seems like just Joe Citizen, but...
You joking? Even the Russians don't go into the double Bs.
We're on our own.
Mr. Reese, can you hear me?
You need an OtterBox on that phone, dude.
May I at least have your name before we commit Grand Theft Auto together?
First, we need to get you to the police so you can tell them about what you saw at the bodega.
If I testify, I'm dead.
I know a detective we can trust.
Get out!
That's that's some good effects on the windshield
We need to
there.
keep moving.
Oh, he got
It's gonna
hit.
be a problem.
You say the Russians don't go in there? Well, that's where we're going.
All right, into the Bulgarian apartment blocks.
This is crazy. Still don't even know who you are.
I help people, and you need help.
That guy they killed, he said he had a message for someone named Elias. And he wanted me to give it to him, but I don't know an Elias. I tried to tell him that.
Okay, we're going back to Elias.
What was the message?
Something about Vinny. Vinny was gonna finish the job for him. Going to the cops here is like playing Russian roulette. You don't know which side they're on. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And I hope it all blows over. My students, for starters, I can't leave them. They need me.
Well, you won't do those kids any good if you're dead, Mr. Burton.
Charlie, please. Mr. Burton is for my students.
My name is John.
Thank you for saving my ass, John.
Help us find the men who did this to your husband.
It doesn't matter if you find them. Elias will.
Where is Elias?
I never met him. Elias has bigger plans. He'll reunite the 5 families and take out the Russian trash.
Okay. Elias wants to be Kingpin. You can do that? You can hack a terminal just by hitting like 8 numbers?
He wasn't dodging bullets by himself.
Who was he with?
Some tall guy in a suit. Definitely not with the Russians. Shot one of them in the knee before they got away.
The leg shot.
A bystander got some footage of her own. Meet
Uh-oh.
Peter Yegorov.
As in Ivan Yegorov, the Russian boss?
Peter's his son. Ivan Yegorov, got it.
Oh, that's a dirty cop. That guy's a dirty cop. The Russian roulette has begun. Scrub that footage, or... Oh.
And what's this cop doing with them?
Yeah, dirty cop.
NYPD.
Yeah, that's the dirty one. Because he's got a scar, so he must be evil.
Hello, Detective. I need to talk to you about our mutual friend.
Who's this? Those two are going nowhere fast with this type of heat on them.
Unfortunately, the Russian mafia may not be our only problem. I need you to run a license plate for me.
If I hear anything about a friend, how do I get in touch with you?
Oh,
You don't. I'll find you, detective.
I feel like Finch would have a way to run a plate, but
Did you always want to be a teacher?
No, it was sort of a career shift.
What about the kids who don't make it?
Probably the ones shooting at us.
Don't go anywhere.
Wait, where are you going?
To find us a pharmacy.
back to the tweaker lab.
You saying this plate belongs to Elias?
Maybe. Whatever message Penny was passing along, it means a great deal to Elias. I need you to report it stolen. Then email the report number to that address.
Hey, you heard from our mutual friend?
What, are you worried about him, detective?
Let's go, we're curious.
A little bit.
No.
Can I borrow some of your drugs? Thank you.
No one knows where Elias gets his information. What I still don't get is why Elias is trying to make a move for Brighton Beach.
A woman named Marlene Elias was murdered in 1973. She had an illegitimate son with Don Moretti. I think Elias is the Don's kid.
So the Don's bastard son came back to clean up?
Claim his birthright?
Maybe.
Nothing like over-the-counter polymer to close a wound in a pinch.
You learn all this in hero training?
Everyone knows super glue was
Something like
invented
that.
for wound closure.
Thank you.
Vietnam.
You really think we'll get out of here?
We have a hell of a lot better chance than we did 20 minutes ago.
You after those boys running around our building?
That's right.
He took something from my people. Someone told me they're hiding out on the 4th floor. And one of them's already bleeding.
Okay. They're teaming up.
Find me a way out of here, Finch. One that no one else will use.
How is Mr. Burton faring?
He's wounded, but stubborn.
I think Elias is looking for him, too. Be careful, Mr. Reese.
Come on.
Oh, Finch is concerned.
Hey, I think they were this way.
What now?
Mr. Burton?
Will?
My dad's not home. You can hide in here.
Good kid. Okay. He's affected the community for the good.
Yeah, this is Detective Fusco, shield number 7645. I'm trying to turn on the locator in a stolen vehicle.
I thought you and your dad moved out of here.
Not yet. He said we will as soon as he gets a job.
Just don't move out of my school district, okay? And do your homework.
Yep, all of it.
Great book.
Survivor, you know. Even though he got his revenge, some bad stuff still stuck with him.
Yeah, you're a smart kid, Will. Zombies.
They're taking over the universe.
I can't have that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
It's this guy again. So he's not affiliated with the Russians. He's affiliated with Elias.
Word is the Russians are inside the double
We think.
beat.
Yeah.
We better get to them first.
Is that you, Elias?
The cop himself? Hmm. The age would be about right.
Open up, or we're coming in.
What do you want?
Hey, little man. You all alone in there?
What's it look like?
Why don't you let me in so I can make sure?
My papa taught me better than to let strangers inside our place, especially punks. He also said that Vorti are supposed to show respect to one another.
You be good, kid.
Okay. Okay.
Can you make it to the service stairs?
I'll try.
Why don't you just use the old entrance? They closed it down a few years ago. The stairs got all rotted.
Come on.
Let's use the rotten staircase instead.
Anyone home? Wherever you are, we're gonna find you. And then we're gonna end you.
Come on, let's keep moving.
Looks like you got left behind.
Why would you not just wait for him to leave?
Your son Peter's wanted for questioning in the murder of Benny D'Agostino.
Know where we might find him?
If you are here to accuse my Pietro of something, I suggest you come back with a warrant.
Screw you.
It's a bad move to insult your hostage taker, Laszlo.
Where are we going now?
Across the river? Come on, Laszlo. Let's move.
Just got a text. He's heading to Pier 11. Let's get over there to intercept him now.
Our teacher, he's dirty. We just gave him a phone. Yeah, I don't trust our teacher.
And I was just starting to believe that we could trust you, Detective. I'm disappointed.
No.
Elias's men are on their way to meet our friends at the ferry.
Are you blaming me for this?
Then who told them?
Listen, there's no way I would.
Oh.
Detective, are you there?
Yeah, it's Aunt Fusco. The teacher. He's dirty.
Charlie, I need you to testify.
After everything we went through last night, I don't want to see these cretins running around my town ever again.
Yeah, he's allied with Elias.
It's a beautiful morning. Tell you the truth, I didn't think I'd see another one.
Elias killed your uncle. You, your father, and your brother went to the bodega for revenge. You didn't know what Elias looked like, so his lieutenant, Benny D'Agostino, was the next best thing.
Elias was supposed to be at the bodega that night.
He was meeting Benny.
Yeah. But when we showed up, Benny was all we saw.
Is our teacher Elias?
You think he's gonna testify? After everything he's done?
He's tearing this town apart.
Yeah.
You don't know who he is, do you?
You really don't get it, do you? You honestly think we go to all this trouble for a witness?
Don't make me shoot you, John. You know, sometimes you have to do things you don't like.
Like teaching history of the children of your enemies?
You know all the secrets you and your family tried to hide, Laszlo, I learned all about from your own flesh and blood? Your children hate you almost as much as I do. Tie yourself to the railing, John, nice and tight.
The shooters were looking for you.
Yeah, the benefits of no one knowing who you are and what you look like. That's gone now, I suppose.
That's not at all. You haven't tied yourself.
I'm ready for the next step. This is for Benny.
Elias, if you kill him...
I'm just gonna send a message. Brighton Beach belongs to me now. I could really use a guy like you in my organization.
That's not gonna happen.
I wish you luck, John. If you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of yours.
What if I don't?
Then we'll meet again under less pleasant circumstances.
And we're doing, what's the name of the movie? The Thomas Crown Affair music. Yes.
We're gonna run to all on that day.
You believe me now?
I'm sorry, Detective.
Your suspect is tied to the railing.
Tell him you're welcome.
The machine found the man who was targeted for death. We just didn't know that he was also a killer.
It's my fault he's out there, Finch.
It's not yours alone.
We just saved a man whose only goal in life is revenge. He spent years studying his enemies.
Count of Monte Cristo.
We have more people to help, more numbers.
And how many of those numbers will come up because we saved one man's life?
It's done.
No, it's just beginning.
Oh. He's got himself a gang. I should have known I would be jinxing myself by having the preamble that I did, where I'm just like, oh, let's just expect event of the week and leave it at that. And no, of course, this is the episode where we dive deep into the Elias storyline that we've been playing around with over previous episodes. We get to meet Elias finally. He's this interesting fella. He spent 3 years as a high school teacher teaching the children of his enemies to learn more about his enemy. But he seems fueled entirely by revenge. His mother, he's the son of one of the old crime bosses. His mother was killed when he was young, grew up in foster care, which we hinted at this time when he talked about that story with learning to shoot a gun. Now he's going after the families that moved in to his father's territory, the Russians. And it seems that he's taken them out. Although the boss's son is still out there. But yeah, this is the challenge with the incomplete information the machine gives us. The machine just gives us a social security number and nothing else. And all that means is this person's life is in danger, but that doesn't mean they're a good person necessarily. It could mean there's a hit out on them from a rival gang. And it's like Reese asks at the very end how many new numbers are going to come up because they saved this one guy. I like the twist. I honestly didn't see it coming. I could see the dirty cop, because anytime you give a cop a massive scar across his eye, you're suspicious. That's just how you mark bad guys in television, in the movies. You give them a scar and a limp. You know, if you really want to go bad, you poke at one of their eyes. But but I was genuinely caught by surprise by this, like, quiet history teacher act. It's not just that he was allied with Elias, he is in fact Elias himself. And he is taking back New York. He wants to reunite the five families. He wants to be the kingpin. He wants to be the head of the New York criminal industry from the looks of it. So I'm sure it won't be every episode, but he feels like he is now our season 1 bad guy. He's our big bad for the season. This is how season 1 is probably going to culminate. A number of episodes between now and then will be cases related to him in some way or another. Not everyone. I'm sure there will just be standalone episodes as well. But I like that we're tying multiple persons of interest together. There are connections beginning to form. I'm very curious. I want to know what Elias does next. I want to know how Finch and Reese are going to respond. I like how actively we're involving Fusco and Carter. And yeah, it's just a really tautly plotted story at this point. And I'm surprised by how intrigued I am by it all, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm having a really good time. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys. I like when I set myself up for failure at the start of an episode, because it usually means a bunch of you make fun of me in the comments, and whether they're positive or negative, comments are good for the algorithm, so please help me out with all that algorithm stuff. Clicks and, likes, subscribes, hit those bells, comment, you know the drill. Yeah. Next week, guys, we'll do this all over again, and it's going to be a blast. So until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy. I'll see you soon. Cheers.